Alright, guys. So, I have fallen a little bit behind on my videos. I apologize for that. So, let's start off with what we have here, which is dividing decimals, okay? The very top, it says Donovan has sandbags that each weigh 1 pound. Divide the sandbags into 5 groups. So, first let's see how many we have. I have 2 on top and the bottom, and they're the same. So I'm going to say 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Okay, so we have 18 bags that we need to separate into groups of 5. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. That's going to be one group. It's going to be my second group. That'll be my third group. And of course, I'm left with 3 left over. Now, in order to make one full group, I needed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bags, right? So this is one whole, this is one whole, this is one whole. So ultimately, I end up with 3 holes. And what are these holes comprised of? Again, they wanted us to separate them into groups of 5. So each group is worth essentially 5. Each whole is worth 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 3 complete groups. What we have left over are 3 individual bags, right? So now we have 3 and 3/5. Okay. Going into our question, it says how many groups are there? 3 and 3/5. How can we represent the sandbags that are not in a group? What could we do with them? Again, our group they established for us should have been out of 5s. Okay, so we grouped 5s. We found 3 full groups of 5 with 3 left over. And a word response for that is there are 3 groups of 5, but 3 left over. These remaining bags could be split among the 3 groups, which is how we divide. So that's a just very, very quick breakdown of what we're looking for in terms of decimals, in terms of rational numbers, and in terms of fractions, right? We're not talking about percentages yet, but that's also another form of rational numbers. So we're going to be moving up just a little bit. We're going to talk about dividing decimals with an algorithm. Okay, so when you divide the decimals with an algorithm, that's when the dividend is a decimal. Okay, the dividend is the number that goes inside our division box. Okay, the divisor is going to be the number that goes on the outside of that division box. So when the dividend is a decimal, you can follow the rules for dividing whole numbers. However, remember to keep your place values organized and bring the decimal straight up into the quotient, okay? Remember that quotient just means the answer we get after we've divided, okay? So our dividend here is going to be 378, and our divisor is going to be 30. Well, 30 can fit inside of 37 one time. That'll give you 30. When you subtract, you should end up with 7. And you bring down your 8. Now, how do we know how many times 30 can fit inside of 78? Well, what you can do off to the side is make like a little list where you're skip counting by your divisor. So I have 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180, 210. And we can just stop there, I guess. It's not that big of a deal. Because now I can see that 30 can go inside of 78, not once, but twice. So that gives me 60. 8 minus nothing is 8. And 7 minus 6 is 1. Now what happens here? That 30 can't go into 18. Well, this is when we can add a decimal up here. Because we've added that decimal, we're allowed to put a 0 here and bring it all the way down. So now we know 30 can go into 180 according to our list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. We're left with no remainders. Therefore, our answer is 12.6. All right, let's go to the next one. Here we have 53. We'll add our decimal here, 0.2. Okay, so even though we have a decimal here, we're going to ignore it. We're just placing it here so that later on we can bring it all the way up to here. Okay, I like to do that at the end, but I can show you that that's perfectly fine. Okay, so like I said, if you we're dividing by, our divisor rather is 14. And if you don't, since we don't usually count in intervals of 14, again, just kind of make a list. So I'm going to start at 14, 28, 42, 56. Let's see. I'll do a couple more. We'll do 70. We'll do 84. Let's do, I guess, one more. That's fine, 84. We'll do what? 98. We'll kind of stop right there. That's fine, but that's skip counting by 14s, okay? So our 14 can go into 53 1, 2, 3 times, okay? So we'll put our 3 here. 3 times 14 gives us that 42. And we're going to subtract. 3 minus 2 is 1. 5 minus 4 is 1. And we bring down our 2. So if I skip count another one more time by 14, or if I add 98 to 14, then I should get 112. So now again, I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. 8, 1, 12. No remainders. So your answer here is 3.8. All right. Let's do the next one. Next one, again, we have our 186 decimal 3. And our divisor in this particular case is 27. So let's go ahead and make a list. First, obviously, it's going to be 27. Then it's going to be 54. Then it's going to be 68. Then 82. Then 96. Let's see. What, 110? 110. Let's keep going. 37? Wait, I think I've been doing this wrong. My bad. I made a mistake. Let me fix this. So these are incorrect. So I'm gonna fix it. I'll use a different color to show that I am aware of my error, and then I'm gonna fix it. Cool. So let's do this differently. Alright, so what it should have been, and I apologize for this, is 27, 54, 81, 108, 135. Yeah, I was way off, so I apologize for that, y'all. 162. We're gonna do 189. I guess I'll stop right there, at least for now. And then we'll, if we have to add on later, we can add on later. So now we have to see how many times 27 can fit inside of 186. We got pretty close here, but we can't go over. So I think the closest we can get is 162. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so 27 can fit inside of 186 6 times. That gives us 162. Then we just subtract. 6 minus 2 is 4. 8 minus 6 is 2. And we bring our 3 down. Okay, so it looks like we're going to have to add a little bit more, which is perfectly fine. So the next one, if we keep counting by 27s, then the next number is going to be 216. And then I believe the last one is going to be 243, which is exactly what we need. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. And we bring our decimal straight up. So our quotient here is going to be 6.9. And I guess if we do that, then that's 243 minus, and we have no remainders. Sorry. So yeah, I always highly recommend making a list if your numbers are fairly large or they're in intervals you're not used to counting by. Just make a list. Start with the number you have, and then add the same number, add the same number, add the same number, or obviously you can multiply. But yeah, when we run into those types of issues, make a list. It's usually really helpful. Let's keep going. Okay, next page. This one might get a little messy, but we're going to do our best. So, sorry. This is a art desk, so that's why it looks like this. Alright. So here, we have 12.42 divided by 18. Okay, let's see what we can do. So here, we're going to put our 12.42 inside our division box. We're going to have 18 at the end. Yeah, let's go ahead and make a list of 18. So we know it's going to start with 18. Then it's going to be, 36. So let's do that. So I have, where can I make this list where it's not going to be super messy? I'll just try to make them small. Let's do 18, 36, 54, 72, 90, was it 108, 126. We can stop right there. Alright. Now, let's figure out how many times. Again, we're going to ignore this decimal. It's there so that we can bring it up at the end, but we're just going to ignore it for now. Okay, so it's not how many times 18 can fit inside of 12. It's how many times 18 can fit inside of 124. Okay, so you can see that 18 fits into 124 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So I'll write my 6 right there. That's going to give me 108, and I subtract. Can't take 8 from 4, so I go next door and borrow. That's a 1, and that's a 14. 14 minus 8 is 6. 1 minus nothing is 1, and I bring down my 2. So it looks like I'm going to have to keep counting by 18s. Okay, that's fine. Let's keep going then. I was at 126. We're now going to be at 144. Then 162. And that should leave us at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We bring our decimal up. So our first answer or our first solution you can write as 0.69 or just 0.69. Either way, I'm fine with it. So that's number 2. Let's work on number 3. Number 3 is all whole numbers, but bear in mind, all whole numbers doesn't necessarily mean that it's not going to end up in a decimal, okay? So always keep that in mind. So let's see what we can do. We have 32 as our divisor, and we have 1400. And let's make a little list of 32s. Okay, so 32. We'll start up here. So I have 32, 64, 96, right, plus 32, 128, 160, 192, let's see, 224. We'll stop right there for now anyway, right? Because sometimes we have to go back and add some more, so we'll see what if we have to. Perfect. So let's see how many times 32 can fit inside of 140. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. So it looks like it's 4 times. That's going to give us 128. Can't take 8 from nothing, so we have to borrow from our 4. That's a 3, and that's a 10. 10 minus 8 is 2. 3 minus 2 is 1. And we bring down our 0. So now we have to see how many times it can fit inside of 120, which should be here. 1, 2, 3. That's going to give us 96. Can't do that. So we do that. 10 minus 6 is 4. 11 minus 9 is 2. I would add a 0 decimal here and add a 0 and bring it down. I realize I'm running out of space here. And it looks like the closest I can get would be where I'm at currently. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so 40 so far. Sorry. I hate running out of space. 43.7 is what I have. Just to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. Okay. 224. Subtract that. 3. That's a 10. That's a 6. That's a 1. Add another 0 and bring it down. Again, I'm sorry for it being so squeezed. I apologize. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oof. So essentially, our answer for this one is going to be 43.75. So there is a fair amount of work here when we are dividing decimals, especially just sometimes we have to ignore those decimals and we have to end up dividing into numbers that are much, much bigger than what we're used to. That's okay. See, we can do this next one. I think 4 is actually relatively simple because our divisor is 93. We'll do 195.3. So yeah, what? 93, 186, something like that. If I make a little list, I'll do it over here. Let's do 93, 186. I'll add one more just in case. 279. And we'll just see what we can do. So I know 93 can go into 195 boop, twice. Because that gives me 186. I can't take 6 from 5, so I go next door and borrow. And my 5 is really a 15. So 15 minus 6 is 9. 8 minus 8 is nothing. And I bring down my 3. Look at that. 93 goes into itself one time. That's 93. And we bring our decimal up. So our answer is just 2.1. So that one actually worked out pretty well. Cool. Next one. We'll go like right underneath. I'll do my best to be as organized as possible. But as you can see, I have all of these and just this space. So next one is going to be 5. We're going to have 60 as our divisor and 744 as our dividend. And let's make a small little list. 60, 120, 180, 210, 270. What is it? 330, 390. I guess we're good right there. All right, so 60 can go into 74 one time. That's going to give you 60. That's going to give you a 4 and a 1. Then we bring down our other 4. 60 can go into 144. Again, twice. That's going to give us 120. That's going to give us a 2, and that's going to give us a 4. We'll add a decimal here, add a 0, and bring it down. 240. Wait, I think it should be 240, right? So 180 plus 60 should be 2, actually. Yeah, it should have been 240, which means these are actually incorrect. My bad. Okay, so 240, it goes into that 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Cool, excellent. So here we end up with 12.4. Okay. Let's keep on going. Number 6. Okay, we'll do down here. We'll say 62 is our dividend and 45.88 is our divisor. Let's skip counts in 62s. Let's try to do it correctly this time. So we know we're going to have 62. 124. 186. Should be 248. Brain fart. 248. Oh yeah, 62. 310. 372. And let's do, I guess, one more. We'll say 434. Okay, so how many times can 62 fit inside of 458? That's about as close as we're gonna get. Okay, so that's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. It's gonna give us 434. 8 minus 4 is 4, and 5 minus 3 is 2, and I bring down this 8. 62 can fit inside of 248. 1, 2, 3, 4 times. We bring our decimal up, and our answer here is either 0.74 or just 0.74. Oh man, so yeah, like I said, it's a lot of work. Yeah, it's a lot of work. Let's keep going. Whew. Well, I think I'm gonna stop here as far as these are concerned. As you can see, this is the work you'd have to do, but I do want to talk about question 4 and question 5. Because they're going to be considered to be like more higher level thinking questions. Okay, so let's talk about 4. It says Josephine solved 3 different questions on a math quiz, and one of the answers is incorrect. Determine which solution is incorrect and explain your reasoning. Okay, so let's figure out which one is actually incorrect, and then let's explain why. Alright, so if we look at question 1, it should have been 50.4 divided by 18. I know 18 can fit inside of 50 at least twice. So yeah, twice. That's going to give us our 36. We have to borrow. That's a 10. 10 minus 6 is 4. 4 minus 3 is 1. We bring down our other 40, or our other 4. 144. Our 18 goes into 144. 8 times. Bring up our decimal. So that actually works. So far, we're okay here. Let's talk about the second one. They have, let's see, 0.876 divided by 6. Okay. Oh, I guess, yeah. I guess that's why, because we don't have to necessarily have our 0 here. We can just have it like that, in which case our decimal can go up. 6 can go into 8 one time. That's 2. We bring down our 7. 6 can go into 27 4 times. And that gives us 24. Sorry. It's 3, and then 6. 6 goes into 36 6 times. So here we see the decimal should be in front of the 1, but here they have the 1 in front of the decimal. So that's going to be the one that's going to be incorrect, okay? And it's incorrect purely based on that decimal place. This should be here. So, unfortunately, question 2 for Josephine was incorrect. Question 5 is actually pretty simple, okay? 4 friends went out to dinner, okay? And you guys ended up spending $65.48. You want to split the bill. So how much is that bill going to be, right? You're going to have, take your total bill and divide it by the 4 people eating dinner. 4 goes into 6 once. 6 minus 4 is 2. You bring down the 5. 4 goes into 25 6 times. That's 24. That's 1. Bring down your 4. 4 goes into 14 3 times. That gives you 12. 2. Bring down your 8. And 4 goes into 28 7 times evenly. Therefore, if the friends decided to split the bill evenly, each of the 4 friends would end up paying a total of $16.37. All right, well, I hope this was helpful, guys. Yeah, dividing decimals, man.